Currency Games here with another video. Today we ended up with a good trading day. To be fair, we closed a short position on Euro USD for 2.6%. That is something that I'm quite happy with. To be fair, we took a nice short in the area that we were stalking from early London session. So it was a very nice trade, and it did end up falling much further than we had set our TP to, which can be annoying, but at the same time you have to be grateful for what you get from the market. Okay, considering we had a good trade on Monday and we had a good trade today, the likelihood of me getting into another trade is very unlikely. I've already hit almost 4.6% growth this week. I don't need to get any more than that. My weekly target is 5%, so I'll most likely be staying on the sidelines for the rest of the week. If I am to take another trade, it will probably be a trade that's very high probable and more than likely with a bit of a lower risk than what I would usually use. Okay, but before we go into a breakdown of that trade, I'm going to go over the trade we took on. Before I go over my trade breakdown, which I'm going to do at the end of the video, I am going to go over our outlook for tomorrow and Friday. Okay, so if you guys like this, please like and subscribe, and we can continue giving you more of this content. So if you guys remember, earlier in this week we were discussing the mean threshold of this weekly OB. Okay, and look how price has reacted off that level. Look at it. Okay, and if we go down into a lower time frame, look at that fair value gap that we also had marked out there. Price literally pinned it and retreat and shot off bullish off that level, which is really clean. Going on to the H12 as well, we even have a nice MSB here of this high. We have clearly broken past it with strength. Okay, the likelihood of this fair value gap here, which is on the daily time frame holding, I don't think it's very likely. I think we are going to eventually break past it and attack possibly this liquidity up here. Now going into what I'm expecting for tomorrow. Now if you look at the H4 is incredibly bullish. You can see how this daily fair value gap here is held as a point of almost resistance for a short period of time, just for a place for a place for the H4 to rest and probably form a retracement and form structure in this area. As you can see, tomorrow I'm possibly expecting more of a retracement down into the discounted side of the H4 range, which is from this low to this high. And we do have this H4 breaker zone here that we can expect longs to come from. So we could possibly see price attack this high up here going into London tomorrow and New York, and then possibly see a retracement back down into this premium discounted area in price to then possibly continue its bullish movement back up to attack these possible highs up here. Okay, and if we do not attack the high that is the MS high for the H4, we could have possibly just see a H4 H1 breakdown towards this breaker zone down here to then go bullish again as well. Okay, but that is all for Eurgbp today. I think it's very clean and very simple for the rest of the upcoming week. Okay, nothing too fancy, nothing too out of pocket, just normal standard following market structure, following the higher time frame and staying in line with what the weekly and the daily and the H4 is telling us in price. Okay, going on to Euro USD then for the rest of the week. Again, I think Euro USD is looking very clean as well. If you remember, I was discussing this daily high at the beginning of this week, and I wanted to see how price would react at this high, whether we were going to break through it or raid it and retrace lower. And as you can see, we just pierced it with a wick and we broke lower with the body closing just here. Now going into what I'm seeing for tomorrow, considering we've tacked this daily liquidity up here, the next highest likely probable area we're going to reach is the daily liquidity resting just down here. Okay, alongside this ores block that we have resting here that I've been talking about for a while as a refined possible area as well. Okay, going down to the H4, You can see the H4 has also broken structure downwards to prove that we are expecting bearish order flow, and you can see we have a nice H4 order block here. Now alongside that, we also have a fair value gap here, but I'm more paying attention to the H4 order block. Okay, now when you refine that level down to the H2 or the 2 hour, you have even more of a nicer zone. So I'm expecting price to possibly retrace back up into the premium of this range, to then continue downwards to attack this liquidity here, which is why I have a search sign here, and then possibly attack the lows, the order block that was on the daily time frame just here as well. Okay, but very clean looking right now, to be fair. I'd really like to see some M15 MSBs happen in this area to solidify my bias as being correct, but honestly I think this is a very keen area to see possible shorts from going into the rest of the week. Okay, now let's go over to our trade breakdown for today's trade, which was plus 2.6%. If you remember we discussing earlier, we were talking about the daily rate here. Now the daily rate played a very big significance in the reason why I took a short today, alongside this weekly fair value gap here, which is also in the daily fair value gap. Okay, so there was a lot of higher time frame confluences aligning this trade up to be very high probable. Okay, we had a weekly fair value gap. I'm going to go through this from top down. Weekly fair value gap, a weekly wick here, and what does ICT say about wicks? They can act as fair value gaps in the sense where price might want to draw down to it, because there's gonna usually be a refined zone in this area. Daily time frame, daily rate inside a daily FVG, which is also inside the weekly FVG, which is this as well. Let me put that in our color for you there. So confluence on the daily. H12, not too many confluences. We still had the H12 raid there. H4 FVG, H4 order block. Okay, what is that signaling? Bearish prices when we reach into that. H1 FVG inside the H4 FVG, which is in a premium of the H1 structure from this low to this high. M15, nothing crazy in the M15. If you want to take an M15 entry here, you possibly could. MSB retracement, boom. But the entry we got, which is quite clean, was the M5. Okay, once the M5 tapped this H1 H4 FVG, we then got a nice MSB to the downside here. Okay, then we traced up, had this M5 level here, the M5 order block, M5 OTE here as an entry level, and we just broke down, and where I ended up taking my TP was just here, literally around here, for 2.6%. Looking at price now, you can see we dropped for over around 54 pips, which is substantial, but all we needed really and truly was that 2R, just over 2R, almost 3R to make us, to get us in for the day. Okay, to get us our profit. All right, well, that's all for today, guys. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll be back most likely Friday again with another video, and probably a breakdown of the week that we've had. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and peace out.